This next one's got a sing-along chorus. If there's one thing I love about folk clubs, it's that everybody sings along. Well, anybody that feels like it anyway. And if you've never been to a folk club before, there's no rules about it. If you catch on to one line, sing that line, and then stop and work it out again. There's no join in as much as you want. This one is about my father's grandmother. She grew up in the hills near Gunning. She was a Clancy, and she claimed in this, in this story that she told, that she'd met a bushranger once. I met some of the Clancys when I was a young bloke, and if there was ever anybody that was hiding bushrangers, it was those blokes. So she may have known him better than but this is her story anyway. It's called Gentleman Caller. My father sat on his grandmother's knee, and he heard a story that he's passed on to me, about the night that a daring bushranger, just passing, dropped in for tea. He often travelled by moonlight, hoped he hadn't given her a start. I sometimes wonder if Bridget had a place for him in her heart. She called him her gentleman caller, for a gentleman is how he behaved. And though he struck fear into the squatters' hearts, Bridget was never afraid. He admired the farm and the farmhouse, said he knew where the water holes lay, said he was sure to be the prettiest place if he ever got to see it by day. When she remembered that caller, other memories came flooding back. She remembered when she was a new wife, on a farm on an out-of-the-way track. She called him her gentleman caller, for a gentleman is how he behaved. And though he struck fear into the squatters' hearts, Bridget was never afraid. She smiled more as she got older. She remembered the good things in life, but there was always this hint of sadness, for she knew that he'd run into strife. There were men up near Forbes that he trusted, one that just handed him in for a reward that he never got to spend. She would never have done that to him. She called him her gentleman caller, for a gentleman is how he behaved. And though he struck fear into the squatters' hearts, Bridget was never afraid. In old age she told many stories of things that she'd done and she'd seen, but her favourite was always the story of one man that she had seen. When she had a gentleman caller, glad she met him before his fall, the night that my great-grandmother Bridget cooked dinner for the daring Ben Hall. She called him her gentleman caller, for a gentleman is how he behaved. And though he struck fear into the squatters' hearts, Bridget was never afraid. Though he struck fear into the squatters' hearts, Bridget was never afraid.